slaves. Because in 2009, with our black president and black first lady, the little girls in these streets are still slaves who don't know their alphabets. She doesn't know her alphabets, but her brother Alfred bets that she knows every lyric to Beyonce's Single Ladies, plus the dance she wants you to put a ring on it.
You may laugh with us about the subject today. I say poor folks' educational systems sucks. I'd like to spend time going into that detail because education does not suck for every American or every African American, just we who are poor. The way I want to validate that is just to look at the size of colleges 60 years ago measured against the size of colleges and universities today. I wanted to get some actual numbers, so I can't be absolutely sure. I think that 60 years ago, there were about 150,000 students in all of the schools of the University of Illinois. I am sure that figure has increased maybe doubly in 60 years. I can give you some absolutely positive actual facts at a later date. I know for a fact that there are more students in colleges and universities in this day than it was when I was in undergraduate school. So I'm trying to validate the point that educational systems do not suck for all Americans, just for those of us who are poor. And I want you to understand that Brother Melvin caused some stirs in what he said to you last week, or to us last week. And in getting ready for what I have to say this day, I've had some sleepless nights because, please believe me, the subject that we are dealing with is a very serious, substantive one. I don't know how to be so objective today and also maintain the brevity, because there are too many issues to deal with, and there's too much information relative to the problems that we are talking about. And we are talking about teenage pregnancies. And Brother Melvin asked you 10 questions to start a conversation, and I'm moving on. And please believe me, there's something that I want to talk about, but I have to talk about this public education sucking for poor people. And I want you to understand that I know that it's planned. You see, it deals with the politics of scarce resources. The more the man keeps the minority and the poor folks out of the midstream, the more that he has for himself. But that's not the only dimension that we need to address. And we'll go into further details about public education and how it does not meet the needs of poor folk. We see education should begin at home. But you see, what occurs is that the man says that he has to take over educating us, because you see, it becomes socialism, and it is for the good of the society. Well, yeah, I say that schools do too much. They do everything. They feed our kids, they babysit our kids, and they try to teach our kids everything. And if you just go around to the various campuses around the city, especially the public education campuses among those of us who are poor, you will find that our kids are wild. And I don't understand how they can spend 20 weeks a semester, 40 weeks a year, and they are not able to tell you what they have learned. They should have absorbed something from 40 weeks of instruction, 200 days. Well, they do learn some things. And the things that I've seen of them in the last few weeks, how they are running and jumping and pushing and shoving and disrespecting adults and knocking you down as they walk past you on the sidewalk. They don't even speak to you as they rush past you and brush up against you. And in my day, we were taught that we had to speak to adults. And you see, our schools have taken on a terrific task, and the task is too big, and we're not getting things done. But for the good of the country and the good of the individual, I think that Head Start was socialistic, and we're not doing the job that we should be doing, that should begin in the home. Now, I can't discuss the concepts like I want to discuss because that clock pushes me, but as I said, we're feeding kids in the schools, and we've taken on the concept of sex education, and that belongs in the home. Education begins at home. The parent is the first teacher and the best teacher. The home should teach our kids reading readiness before they send the kid to school. The home should teach our kids love. The home should teach our kids morals. The home should teach our kids value. The home should teach our kids about what family is. The home should teach our kids language. And that brings me to a point. The home should teach our kids about biological language. I hate to hear our kids refer to parts of their bodies that they don't even know the biological names of. And I hate to hear our kids refer to biological processes as if they should be ashamed to talk about them. Some kids have never heard the word phallus or penis. Some kids have never used the word urinate. There's nothing wrong with the word penis or phallus or urinate. It's no more wrong than we say eyes, nose, and mouth. And you see, I've got to come to a close. And I wanted to shift the gears because the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I will talk about, is the fact that as we have talked to you about how the girls are affected through puberty and maturation because of the foods that they eat, the boys are also affected, and we need to go into that detail because between you and me, our boys are getting away scot-free. And as Brother Melvin says, it takes two to tango.